Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and this is going to be another fun guest interview that we have coming for you guys today here on the show. If you listened in on Wednesday, we had an awesome show with Nick Carlson with Mulchmate. If you have not listened to that one, as soon as this one's over, go back and listen to that one. That's a top 5 interview on the history of our show for sure. Got a lot of great feedback from Nick there and everybody that listened in. Really, really fun episode. But today we have Tommy Atherton with Trusted Lawn and Landscape on today, and this is going to be very fun. Me and Tommy linked up on Instagram a while back. I've been following him for a while, and just want to get you on here today and kind of share your story and talk business with you. Your young hustle out there, and I think you can relate with a lot of guys that listen to the show, a lot of younger guys. You're not young in business per se, but I guess in the grand scheme of things you are. So what's up, man? How you doing tonight?
Good, Jeremiah. Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Just busy. Long days, long nights, everything that goes along with it. But you know how it goes. This the life of a business owner. That's what we signed up for, right?
For sure.
Yeah, man. Well, good deal. Let's just take it away. I want it to be your show. Tell us a little bit about you and how you got started, and then we'll just kind of transition to some business talk and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, definitely. So a little bit about me. I'm 19. I'm in Columbia, Missouri, so smack dab in the middle. 2 hours from St. Louis, 2 hours from Kansas City. This is my third year in business, so I started right around 2020. Kind of about halfway through the year. I didn't get started right in the beginning. So third year in business, I've grown quite a bit. Let's see. I started, you know how everybody else did, just push mower in the back of the car, worked their way up, reinvesting everything. Got a trailer, upgraded to a bigger utility trailer, and then onto the bigger enclosed trailer setup that I have now. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah, it looks cool. So you started right in the middle of the pandemic then?
Oh, yeah. And so the way that worked out was I was a junior in high school, and so everything went electronic. So we were doing, Zoom calls just like this. And then I had the opportunity just to pretty much work all the time and get out and just hustle. And so basically right when I graduated high school senior year, I had a pretty well-established company to just get right to work.
Man, that's crazy. That's awesome. I've talked on the show a few times about how COVID affected people. I mean, it was very terrible. People died and people got really sick, but in the business world, it hurt a lot of businesses too. I think it really did hurt a lot, but I think it helped a lot. Like it propelled yours probably because without that happening, like you wouldn't be in the situation you were in. You wouldn't have been able to take half a year off of school or whenever it was when you started. Like you wouldn't have been able to do it all online and kind of take it and move on with it. How do you think it kind of helped you in your business? Did you have good numbers starting out? How did that whole process go? I know people like where was it at in your area? Were people scared? Were they staying inside, or was everybody just like life goes on as normal?
So it wasn't too bad. I know a lot of companies got shut down. I know. Like Brian Fullerton, he wasn't able to do anything. Yeah. Our situation wasn't anything like that. I think it benefited me, like I just said before, not just giving me the opportunity to work, but getting into business in probably one of the toughest times our economy has seen in my lifetime for sure. I mean, I'm only 19, so I haven't seen a whole lot, but just getting that experience in a rough economy. And, you know, like right now is a tough economy, and who knows what we'll see here in the future, but just seeing that people are willing to spend their money in tough times if you know where to look and you know what to find, if that makes sense.
How did you know where to look and how did you find those people?
Well, just getting straight into business, I didn't really know exactly what I was looking for, but just finding, the nicer areas of town to put my little door hangers out. I did, as far as advertising goes, I had, Craigslist ads. Those probably weren't generating
Craigslist ads. Wow, I hadn't heard that one in a while.
The best area of town. But I kind of got into Facebook ads quite early. I didn't have too much success with that right off the bat like I do now. But like I just said at the beginning, advertising in the nicer areas where these people just have money to spend regardless of what kind of situation we're in.
Yeah, that's a good point there. You want to be working on people's yards where, I mean, whether it's good or bad economy, they still have a surplus of money and they still want to spend it. So those are good areas to be. And you said like you do now with Facebook. So is Facebook a key marketing tool for you now?
Yeah, so it kind of became this year. So I'm gonna get into something a little off topic of the green industry. I'm not sure if you're familiar with something called drop shipping at
Yes, yeah,
all.
I have, yeah.
So for anyone that's unfamiliar, what this is it was a big trend online in the YouTube guru scene. What it is they have these Chinese wholesalers online like DH Gate and stuff like that, AliExpress, and they sell cheap Chinese products. And what you would do is you would find a winning product for say, and then you would build a website around that product or products, and then you would go on Facebook ads and market that. I never really had much success with it. I mean, I made some sales, I made a little bit of profit, a couple $100, nothing crazy. But what that did was give me the experience with Facebook ads to bring into my own business and understand, demographics, target audiences, stuff like that. So it really boosted me as far as Facebook ads go. So I was really able to utilize that knowledge and grow my business with Facebook ads.
What age were you when you started that?
So I'm 19 now. This is, around pandemic time, 17, 18.
Okay, so about the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, because I was just always into, I mean, that's kind of how I got into lawn care is just YouTubing. How can I make money at 17? How to
Really?
make, this amount doing this is kind of stuff like that.
So was Brian one of your first videos that came up?
Oh yeah. And as soon as I started watching him, I just fell in love with the lawn care thing. Cause I mean, I was like any other kid or any other boy growing up, mowing the neighbor's yard for $20 and then finding out that, I mean, there's a real business behind that
Yeah.
model.
So you watch him from the beginning. What is that kind of process like? I know Brian gets a lot of people into it. A lot of people see his YouTube and stuff. Really, really good content he's putting out. How did that whole process go? Were you literally just like watching YouTube and like you found him or something? How did that go?
Yeah. So growing up, I've always been into YouTube. I mean, I made my gaming channels, just,
Oh, you're a
just
streamer? Do you
what,
stream?
yeah, a little bit. I mean, you can
Oh,
see on
there
the
you
camera
go.
my microphone and
Yeah.
stuff, but, just growing up watching YouTube and then, moving away from more of the entertainment side into the education side and started off watching Brian and kind of moving into more like the Florida Turf Pros, Mike Andes, guys like that are really putting out knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about, Brian. Every time I see him, it's so funny because I think about like the first time, what the relationship we have now versus like the first time I was sitting in our first rental house after being married. I don't know. We might have been. I don't even know. Actually, I don't think me and Sven were married yet. We weren't. I started renting this house like 2 or 3 months before we got married, and we were sitting there. I was just scrolling. Like I don't even watch YouTube. Like YouTube's not my thing. It's just not. I don't know. I'll get caught up in an Instagram reel feed way before I get on YouTube and start going. If I'm on YouTube, I'm like specifically searching something. For some reason, I was on YouTube, and I don't even, like I said, I don't even know why. I was just on the homepage, and Brian's Lawn Maintenance popped up, and it was his shop tour with Corey Ballard, and the Perfect Cut, the blue Perfect Cut trucks caught my attention and clicked on it, and the rest is history, I guess you could say. Like it's crazy how little things like that. Do you remember like what the first video was that you saw or anything?
I know he dropped some old videos with Christian with CNI Services. If you're familiar
Those are
with him,
popular ones. I've heard many
yeah,
people get caught on
those
those.
are the first because that's I mean that would be advertising me as that the young entrepreneur kind of thing. And
Yeah,
it's crazy though because I actually do remember the video now. It was Christian with his old well he still has a truck. So I follow him on Instagram. The maroon F-350 with
yeah,
his
yeah,
first enclosed trailer,
yep.
and just watching that. And that was back when I was push mower out of the back of my Toyota Highlander. And like, wow, like one day, like I want to do that. And it's just crazy because like now I'm living that.
That's
And
insane, man. What has the process been along the way? What has driven you? Like, I don't know. I mean, talk. I want you to take it and run with it here. It's a cool. We got your backstory here, and we're going to keep going. But I want to hear the dynamic of being a young hustle in high school. Like I started it. I really started full time working for myself. My last year. My first year in college, or first year would have been first year in college. So, first year out of high school. I didn't really start in high school. So, like, what was that dynamic like? What did your friends have to say about it? Did you miss that on parties? Like, what is just that whole dynamic? Walk me through that, because it's something that I think a lot of guys want to do, but they don't really know how to do it. And I think they're going to catch a lot of flack along the way. So how have you kind of handled that? And just tell us that whole journey and take it where you want to take it.
For sure. I'll go down that rabbit hole. So, yeah, like I said, starting out in high school, just with the basic setup. So I played football throughout high school. So especially we had football during the pandemic. So I didn't really do the online school. I always had they didn't really make it mandatory because it was so new.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, like it's not working for me. Like, but in all reality, I was out working.
Yeah.
And a little funny story about that is I took an entrepreneurship class, and I was actually failing the online class, which again, it didn't matter because it didn't count for anything. But like I was failing it because I was out actually living the real entrepreneur life, like out hustling every day, doing the deal. And that wasn't enough for the teacher, she said. But, starting out with the basic setup, reinvesting everything. But I mean, like you said, I did catch a lot of slack for it. I would show up to football practice with my Toyota Highlander and my beginner utility trailer with the John Deere residential, the Lowe's mower on the back of it. And I'd walk in with my khaki shorts into the locker room with my lime green t-shirt, and all the coaches were making fun of me. All the players were kind of laughing and stuff, but I was really confident in it. I didn't really care. I knew they were joking and stuff, and they were just having a good time. Starting out like that, let's see.
That could be hard though. Like I could see how that could affect you. What kept you going like at that point? How many customers did you have? Were you really growing? Like were you seeing revenue come in? What made you push through all that?
So I heard your story. You kind of got I know this is a little bit luck of the draw is coming across someone selling a customer list. So right during the pandemic, I got in contact with a guy because I live in Columbia and that's where the University of Missouri is. He started a little lawn care company when he was in town here. It had maybe 15 customers doing probably 600 a week in revenue.
Yeah.
And I was already doing probably, 200 or 300 in revenue. And so he was selling it for $3,000 for that 15 customer list.
Wow.
So it was I think it was like a month's maybe of revenue. I can't exactly remember the details. Yeah. So he was selling that. I pretty much used all the money I had saved up at the time to buy this customer list. Wow. And it was so sketchy though, because it was like going back to the Craigslist thing. I found the ad on there when I was looking for some used steel stuff. He was like, I'm selling everything, moving out of town. Kind of had his backstory on there. I got in contact with him, ended up doing the deal. And so around the same time, during the pandemic, I ended up getting about 20 weekly customers. And so I was really hustling and seeing the money come in. As a junior in high school, $900 a week, that was like, I was like,
a long way. Yeah.
This is it. I'm going to be rich. I was just so motivated. So I really just didn't have to care what anybody said was the main thing. It did take a little bit of a toll. And it was one of those things where, so I played quite a bit in football. I was on the varsity team. I started, but it was one of those things where, I was mowing just about every day because I didn't really have too dense of a route at the time. And so, I would be mowing on game days, like mowing before practice. So I would mow, I would come home, I would lay in my bed for 30 minutes, try to close my eyes for a little bit. And then I'm jumped right back up, getting to football practice. So yeah, they were really long days and I was just staying busy.
No, that's awesome. That is the hustle. Like that's what it's about. I remember that working when I was still working with the guy who had it before me. We'd work all day and then I'd go to basketball practice at night and go play games. Like absolutely crazy times. It's cool to see where you came from, where you started. The customer list. Let's talk about that for just a minute. I didn't know that was how you started, or not how you started, but how you kind of that helps you. And I think that's something that I don't know. A lot of guys, if you're out there listening, maybe thinking about getting into it, or maybe that opportunity has arisen. I know I can't speak too much to like buying and selling companies. I don't have any experience with it. I don't personally know anybody who has done it like on a large scale. But that little small customer list like that, and like what I had, 20, 25 clients, something like that, that to me like puts you so much further than somebody who just has no clients. Like just those 15 clients gives you something to get out and do and like get your truck seen, get you out on a yard. What is your take on that? Like, how big was that for you and your company?
Yeah, so it was really big for me at the time. And on the topic of buying and selling, I think it's really big for the guy starting out.
Yeah.
I was actually listening to Corey Ballard's podcast, The Green Grind, today, and they were answering Instagram questions, and one of them was, how do I sell my lawn care customer list? Say it was in a different area or something. And Corey kind of went into saying that, I mean, they're not worth a whole lot.
Yeah.
They're not worth a whole lot just because with residential, there's typically no contracts, there's no guarantee. I would say it's really beneficial if you're buying from someone who has a good connection with their customers. And in this case, it was a college kid. He kind of sold that, like I'm the college kid, paying for school. And so I kind of took over and sold that same story. And that's kind of how it worked out. Like you said, you don't have too much of an input. I wouldn't recommend just doing it like I did, finding a guy on Craigslist selling a customer list. Just because, again, there's no guarantees. And typically people selling their customer list, you can get lucky like I did and get customers that are going to stay with you. I think I ended up losing like maybe one. I think it was like a 16 customers and it bumped me down to 15, which I got really
awesome
lucky with that.
Rate, yeah.
Exactly. I don't know. It can get sketchy, and making sure he had it really organized. And the benefit with that is I was running off, before I bought the customer list, I was running off a yellow pad, kind of just pen and paper, everything.
Yeah.
And when I bought his customer list, he had it all Google Sheets. He was billing through QuickBooks, something I wasn't doing. I was just picking up checks from people. So it really, like you said, it jump-started my business and gave me a whole new perspective. And this was right around the time when I kind of got into the YouTube scene. And it was really before the whole know your numbers thing kind of went around over the last couple years. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It really just jump-started my business. As far as selling customers, I've never kind of gotten to that. I have a few friends that do the same lawn care thing, and I just refer customers not in my area to them. I don't try to get any compensation for that at this point, just because I know how beneficial 1, 2, 3, 5 yards can be for someone just starting out.
Yeah, I think the word you used there, jumpstart, I think that's a great definition of the way I would explain that is if you could find a good close-knit customer list like that, it could be a great jumpstart for your business and take you to the next level. Just because, like I said, getting your truck seen, getting out there, actually doing the work, that's something that I think could be very, very beneficial. And you got to be careful. You got, like you said, you got to kind of vet who's selling it. You got to vet the customers, that type of thing. You don't want to go spend. I wouldn't go spend a whole bunch of money on it, because especially if you're not buying equipment or anything like that. Because it's like Corey said, residential typically don't have contracts. Like they're not going to be guaranteed to come to you. I would definitely be trying to build that relationship, find out what kind of relationship the previous business owner had with those customers, and kind of go from there. But that's cool stuff, man. That is there's a lot of value there, and I think everybody listening in could learn something from that. No matter what point of business you're at, I think you could take and learn from that. Tell me a little bit about now today's operation. So we got the backstory, kind of how you the effort that you had to give, the drive, the hustle, the heart behind all of it. Tell us today, what do operations look like? What are you doing day to day? Employees, things like that. How does the business operate?
Okay, yeah, for sure. So I'll go over my current setup real quick. I have a 2020 F-150 with a 16-foot enclosed trailer. It's one of the car hauler deals. So the 8.5 wide. So it's with the box over the axles, so you have that extra room to walk around.
Yep.
I run a Skag V-Ride 261 with a X-Mark Turf Tracer 48-inch. We typically service quarter acre to half acre lots, and I have 2 bigger accounts, 2 5 acres. I have 75 customers. I think about 60 of them are weeklies, and then 15 bi-weeklies is what I'm at.
Wow, that's awesome.
We do, like I was telling you before the podcast, I run a 4-day mowing route. Get started probably around 8. We're usually done, 2 or 3 o'clock. Try to fill the Fridays and weekends in with landscaping when I can, which is kind of really what I want to move to next year when I plan on getting a second truck. Shifting out of the mowing setup and more into the landscaping side is what I'm really passionate about. As far as numbers go, I'll probably break 6 figures this year. I know when I listen to podcasts, it's pretty entertaining to hear guys dive into numbers, be transparent about it.
Yeah.
Services I offer, just general weekly mowing, landscape enhancements. Something this year I really want to try to get into is Christmas lights. I don't
That's
know if
good.
that's something you do.
Yeah. I do.
2 days ago, I'm in the Facebook group. Xander Kirby started Green Industry Pros, I
Yeah.
think it is. So he posted this live group video thing in the Facebook group at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. It was super late. I was on my way home from riding my dirt bike, whatever. I was super sweaty and everything. And it said one person was in there. I joined, and it was just Xander sitting in there. And it was kind of crazy because I'd seen him at Expo last year. And this is like, these are all the guys like I look up to. And I seen that I was too nervous to go up and say anything to him. And then just to like join this live Facebook group and just like him be like, "What's up, Tommy?" I'm like, "Oh crap." Like, and he instantly was like, "What can I help you with?" And we kind of just dove into business stuff. I don't know. It's crazy. I was listening to one of your podcasts and something you said that I really felt was like, you've done these podcasts with guys, talk to them once or twice, but you just feel like you're friends with them. And all these guys we follow on Instagram, it's like, I mean, a problem I have in my life being 19, and a business owner, a lot of drive is not a lot of other kids that live in my town have that drive.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of other kids. I mean, I follow them on Instagram. I say kids, but I mean, we're 19, young adults. Not a lot of young adults have that drive and that passion. So it's kind of hard to connect with people in real life, per se, just because I'm not passionate about the same things they are. I know you said earlier, missing out on parties maybe, but that wasn't really something I was too into throughout high school, just because I was really into the education stuff on YouTube. Like, I didn't do too well in school because I couldn't sit still. I didn't want to sit in the classroom and learn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what starting a business really gave me the opportunity to do. My parents really wanted me to go to college. I was signed up for community college here in town because it was free with a program I did at school. And then right in time when I graduated, I had built and established a business and able to show my parents that this was a real deal and get away with not going right into college. And back to the social media thing, just being able to connect with other people like you and just reach out to people like Christian with CNI, guys running crazy businesses and just having all the resources out there. And it's just super cool the way social media is now. And I'm just so blessed to have found that and made a lawn care Instagram and really put the time and effort into it. And yeah.
Yeah, no, man, that's awesome. Social media is a powerful thing, and it can be used for good. It can be used for bad, and I think you're using it for good a lot of ways here. And like you're saying, connecting with these guys, and that's what I love about our industry is the fact of the matter is, guys could have 10,000 followers, 500 followers, 50,000 followers. And with the exception of just a handful of them, like 95% of people out there who are putting out content and creating content and helping people in the industry, they're very receptive to people reaching out to them. They're very good about getting back to you and making you feel like you are a friend to them. And that's because you are. Like, everybody that listens to this podcast is, I would say, my friend, because like they support me. They help me grow the show. They help other people come on the show. Like, without the listeners of the show, we don't have anything. Like, people don't come on as guests on the show because, like, if we're promoting to one person, if one person's listening, then I'm not going to get people like Nick Carlson and Xander Kirby on the show. Like, it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They have better things to do with their time than to come and speak to me and one person who's out there. Like, it's just part of it. So everybody that's involved in this podcast, everybody that follows Brian on Instagram or joins Alex's Facebook group on Facebook there, then it's just part of it, of like, you play a part in it whether you believe it or not or know it or not. So use it as a tool to look up to guys. Use it as a tool to see their businesses, like you're saying with Christian. Like, I think one of the things with Christian's Instagram is it's even at my age, I'm older than Christian, but I even look at it sometimes, and I think it'd be even easier if I was a younger guy like you. I'm not that much older than you. I'm just saying, like, if I was younger than Christian, I would look at his page and I'd be like, well, I'm pretty close to his age. Why am I not where he's at? Like, why do I not have the company that he has? I do that. I'm older than Christian. I'm like, why does he have a bigger company than me? Why is he doing way bigger things in his company than I'm doing? Why is he generating way more revenue, doing bigger projects? That can't be the way you look at it. You need to use it as a tool to drive you and to push you to build a better company, but it can't be the way of like, well, I'm not as good as him, I'm not doing as good. You have to use it in a positive way. And how have you kind of handled that? Because I know there are some young guys in our industry who are putting out great content like Christian, and there are some other guys out there with good businesses. Do you ever let that whole like imposter syndrome catch up to you at all, or how do you handle that?
Oh yeah, that was actually a big thing I dealt with, and I don't know where this talk happened, but I'm pretty sure I forget who gave the talk. Maybe Caleb Almond at some event, the whole imposter syndrome thing. But that's something that I still deal with, and like you said, I think everyone does for a little bit, just because again with that's the only downside about, or not the only, but one of the main downsides of social media is just playing that compare game. But I don't know. There's something that I've really started to learn to deal with over the last couple of months. And I know it helps with the setup I have now and finally getting to that point that I've always wanted to. But you just have to think everyone starts somewhere, and that was the big thing for me to understand is looking back and listening to these podcasts, and like I said, Caleb Almond going over. I mean, he crashed an entire company when he was a little bit older than us, and to look at him now running a successful 7-figure company. And all these guys have these stories. Like Brian Fullerton right now runs an amazing, profitable company, but he always talks about, he wasn't really profitable till the last 5 years, and he's been in business for
crazy.
15 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've just like going back on what I said earlier, I feel like I just know all these guys. Like even you,
100%, yeah.
Like listening to you on Brian's podcast multiple times, and just like, you just really have to understand that everyone starts somewhere, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and that's another good way to look at social media and people that put out content is like, you don't want to say, you don't have imposter syndrome and say you're not as good as them, and then you don't want to say, well, I'm better than them because look where I'm at compared to where they are. But you can use that as some motivation sometimes. And I would tell anybody that's listening that if Brian ever listened to this episode or something for some reason, I would say that. Like I think about Brian sometimes, and I'm like, dude's financially doing very well right now. He's very profitable. He created multiple companies with the media company and the lawn maintenance company. He's doing very well. 4 years ago, he wasn't that way. And that means he was in his 30s then. And he still wasn't that way. And I'm 22, and you're 19, and you're about to hit six figures in revenue. Like, you're so much further along than some of these guys out there were at your age. And I think it's just proof. The proof is in the pudding that the content works, and that the community that we've built is helping. Because if that's not the case, then I don't think you'd be where you are if you didn't have people to surround yourself with of like good influences, and like you're saying, just listening to good people out there who can help you grow your business. I don't think you would be where you are. I know I wouldn't be where I am by any stretch of the imagination. Exactly. Yeah. And I was actually just watching, you did a sit down. It looks like I was watching this before the podcast, just trying to get into the mindset of a podcast. This is my first time. You're doing a video with Paul. It was a podcast, startup success tips with Jeremiah Jennings is the video title. Yeah. And just talking about how these podcasts could be, what's the saying? The floor could be their ceiling or something like that. Yeah. We want our floor our ceiling to be your floor. Exactly. And that's why I was telling you, I was just so excited to be on this podcast, because these podcasts are the reason that, like I said, I'll be able to hit 6 figures in revenue this year, is these guys sharing their business stories and sharing all this information. And I'm really excited to the little bit of information in my story to share. I hope it can just, even if it impacts one person's life, that's one life change, and that, man, it just means so much to me. That's right. And it's all about that. That's what it's about, is helping one person out there. And I said that earlier about if one person listened to the show, then it wouldn't be good. I don't say that trying to sound like I care about numbers and things like that. That's not what it's all about. I'm just saying, without you, we don't have a successful show. Like, I can't just go out there and spend thousands of dollars on equipment and spend thousands of hours in time by the time this is all over for me and one person. Like, we can just we can have a phone call over that if we need to. But exactly. But I can't have a phone call with 400 or 500 people that listen to the show. So, like, it's awesome that we can do this. It's an honor. It's a blessing to me to be able to do it, to help other guys out there, because it's just stuff that I wish I had when I was in the beginning. Like, when I was 17 in high school, I wish I had this, and I didn't. So we're going to change that. We're looking to help everybody out there looking to start their companies and grow. That's been a really fun little side tangent there. That was just real life stuff that I think we both agree on. I think a lot of people out there agree on. And it's just all about the way you look at things. It's a mindset you got to have of use other people's success and failures to push you and better you and your company. So, man, day to day, you said you got SCAG, you got enclosed trailer, about 75 clients. Are you looking to add a crew next year? Like, are you looking to keep the mowing going and then you transition into landscaping? What does the future look like for Trusted Lawn and Landscape?
So the future, I'm definitely gonna start a second crew this year. Right now, it's me and I have a part-time guy, and I mean we're really at the max. So July we had a pretty severe drought here in town, so all the mowing really slowed down, and that was a wake-up call. And that was something I talked to Xander about, is preparing for that a little more. But May and June, I mean, we were 40-hour weeks in the field, and coming home 20 hours of back end work.
Yeah.
So next year I'm definitely looking to expand. My part-time helper I have now, he's a couple years younger than me. He has one semester left of school, so he'll be graduated this December out of high school. He said he's looking to come work for me again. I've taught him how to drive the truck and trailer, which was for sure a learning curve. Knows how to run the mowers, knows how to stripe up the grass. I want him to be in charge of the mowing for the most part next year. I don't exactly know how to look. I know him and one guy will definitely have a full-time thing going. As far as me doing landscape, I'm really into the retaining walls, and I haven't done anything with pavers in my business. I've done it for my uncle, family members practicing. So I'm really excited to try to grow that side of it. I know it's a little rough right now, with the economy. We don't know what the next year will really look like. So I'm just trying to plan ahead, hoping for the best. And like I said at the beginning, finding those customers that have money to spend regardless of the situation we're in. So next year, hoping to run 2 crews. This year I was planning on trying to get certified here in Missouri with pest control. So I had went and bought the books. I read all the books. And then the season just came up on me a little quick. I didn't get to take the tests. I have a mentor here in town that runs one of the bigger lawn care companies. They're the biggest residential lawn care company that does fertilizer and whatnot. So I have resources to reach out as far as that. I wouldn't be jumping in blind. So that's something I'm looking forward to here in the future. But landscaping is the biggest thing, just because that's what I'm really passionate about, and that's what's got me to where I'm at now, is following what I'm passionate about, and not what's just bringing in the money, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love retaining walls. I love equipment. I love watching Almond, Andy Mulder. I love skid steers, excavators. I love playing in the dirt. That's really what I'm looking forward to here in the next year or two.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's cool stuff. It's a cool journey to go down that way. I don't know that I'll ever personally do it, but I love watching people who do. Andy Mulder I love watching his Instagram. Like, the project he's on right now just blows my mind. Like, I honestly don't even understand how he does it.
It stresses me out just watching his stories, man.
Oh, I know. And that's like 5 minutes of their whole day. Like, all those stories combined is like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, in that 5 minutes of just what he's video, and I was like, how did they do that? Like, what? I don't know. It's crazy stuff. But it's above my pay grade. But it's awesome, man. It's a really cool story. Love to see where you're going. If there's one piece of advice you could give to somebody, or just words of wisdom, something like that, to maybe the younger guy out there starting high school, looking to get into it, transition from part-time to full-time, anything like that, what would you say to help them out along the way?
You just have to really put in the effort, and that's what it really comes down to. Is for a long time I was watching the Instagram videos and the other people on there, and just really wishing I was in their shoes. And it wasn't until I took action and was really dedicated that the results came. So if you put in the effort, and I mean, I've heard you say this in the podcast before, just all the resources that are out there to succeed. I mean, like, we named all the guys, Caleb, Andy Mulder on the hardscape side, and then Brian, and all these other guys on the lawn care side. The information's out there. It's just what you do with it. So that's my biggest piece of advice for the younger guys.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's good stuff. Where can everybody find you if they want to catch up with you on social media?
Everyone can give me a follow on Instagram. It's Trusted Lawn and Landscape. I'm really active on Instagram. I'm not super big by any means. Reach out to me. I love to talk shop with guys. That's why I'm super excited to get on one of the podcasts for the first time. So yeah.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And look forward to staying in touch with you there on Instagram. If you guys haven't, go check him out on Instagram. Shoot him a DM if you got any questions or anything. Tommy can be a good help for you for sure. If you don't mind, I got one final question that we try to ask all of our guests here, and it's just pretty simple, but it can be complex. What is your why?
So I was a little prepared for this question. I've heard it on the previous podcast. My why my why in life is to serve others. I know I've heard you say like your dad was in ministry and stuff, so I know that's probably really big in your life is serving. And that's just why I'm so passionate about the social media thing. Is all these guys just, regardless what they're making on the social media, I know even these smaller guys just they put out so much information just to help the next guy to elevate the industry. And I know a lot of people talk about serving their customers and stuff, but my dream is to really grow a bigger company and serve my employees and serve the guys that work for me. And that's the biggest thing for me and my company. I have one employee with me right now, and I really try to do the most I can for him. Buy breakfast, buy lunch, just try to make it as comfortable as the workplace as possible. I don't know. I love serving people. I've heard Brian really put me on this is when you go out to a restaurant and you get good service, like tipping well, just giving back to the people who serve you. And that's something that I've always been really big on in the last couple of years of my young adult life.
Yeah. So. I love that because like we were out tonight and we had a great waitress at our table, and the check was not that cheap. Like it was pretty good, decent sized check. So we were like, we tipped well because she did her job, like, and this was a good one, so we'll wrap this up. But, like, I was listening to Brian and Tom Wheelwright's episode today that he released. I don't know if you listened to that one or not. But, yeah. So they were talking on there. He was talking about we can't be cheap. Like, we don't want our customers to be cheap. We can't be cheap as consumers. And I have to catch myself for that all the time. Like, if I'm hiring a pest control company or things like that, like, I try not to shop around for the best price because, like, that's not what I want my customers doing in lawn care. So even when you're out helping people, when we serve people, we don't want them to be cheap to us. When people are serving you, don't be cheap to them, like as the consumer. So I like that. That's really good advice. I think you can take that and learn a lot from it. So, Tommy, I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Man, this has been a really fun show. Like I said, everybody can go check out, link up with you on Instagram there. Check out your Instagram if they want to connect with you. But just thank you so much for your time tonight, man.
For sure. Thanks, Jeremiah.
Absolutely. But if you enjoyed the show today, would you give us a big 5-star rating and review? Those really help us and boost us in the algorithms to reach new people so we continue to grow the community one relationship at a time. I feel like I'm fumbling over my words here. This is a bad outro. But without any further ado, that's going to wrap this one up, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.